Hey everybody, and welcome to today's video on self-love, and we're asking the question, can you acknowledge how far you've come? Now, in order to, I suppose, dive into that, I'm going to ask another question, which is, are you afraid to create? Now, this question I feel is very loaded and has many layers which need to be pulled apart. I thought about creativity in terms of creativity, and I wondered why people don't create. And I realised that fear plays a huge factor in that, fear of making a mistake. And if you could remember any time you would have created something in the past, the only thing stopping you, whether it's drawing or whether it's making or whether it's creating anything, if you can remember the thing that came in that stopped you from moving outside of your comfort zone because of some attached belief or evidence-based past experience for you. And if there was a possibility that you could leave that now and you could drop it and you could move from it and you could leave it wherever it was at or whenever it happened, would you choose to do that? Or would you like to choose to continue to carry it? So I suppose I'm asking, how important is creativity to you? And what is creativity to you? What does it mean to you to create? To create life, to create art, to create music, to create your wardrobe on that particular day, to create your cup of tea. What does creativity mean to you? And what would you do? What would you do to make sure that that happened? What would you give up in order to be able to create? Or what would you give up in order to be able to choose to create? And once you know what that is, would you be willing to give it up? And the next question is, will you give it up? So how important is creativity to you? And how important is it to you to in turn create your own life and the life that you choose? And just explain a little bit about the self-love within this video. Acknowledging how far we've come and acknowledging ourselves in what we went through to get to that point. We'll say, for example, the point we're at today. The idea of stopping to acknowledge the work that we have done and what it took to achieve this moment in time is so important. It's so important to acknowledge ourselves. To stay there for an appropriate amount of time is optimum. So we can, every moment, absolutely love ourselves and be devoted to ourselves and acknowledge ourselves. And to stay there in order to acknowledge it is amazing. Then to move on. Then to move on to the next thing. Then to move on to the next thing in order to create something new. So there's a difference between staying in that place too long, okay? So it turns into something possibly different. So the self-love is in loving yourself enough to stay there for an appropriate amount of time and then moving to create the next thing. So acknowledging yourself for your compassion for yourself and what you've achieved, and also acknowledging yourself for your ability to move out of that comfort zone and onto the next creation. Okay guys, have a great day and thanks for listening.